He's never fought us. Not us united.
Die. Oh! I can so see that. That's it. Welcome to Comics League. I'm Jared, and today we are discussing Jupiter's Legacy Volume 2. Now, there's a very important theme I noticed when I was reading this book. And by the way, thank you to The Batman for recommending this storyline. It was very important to me that I listen to what my followers want. And you wish it, it will happen. So let's discuss this. All right. So what I noticed reading this book is something interesting. Those of you that have watched this channel for a long time know that I ship Superman and Wonder Woman. This book kind of does that too. Let me explain. So the Superman character is Utopian. The Wonder Woman-ish character is Lady Liberty. Now, all right. Throughout this volume specifically, it makes it out like Utopian has this fantastic marriage. He has an adoring wife. He takes her to the moon, literally to the moon. She has a spacesuit and stuff. And as opposed to Lady Liberty, where she can't, she's known as perpetually alone because whenever she goes on a date, for some reason the dude gets cold feet, or when she kisses him, he goes, nah, this isn't for me, and just leaves. So she's perpetually alone. So what happens in this story is ultimately Sheldon's wife, Sheldon is the Utopian, leaves him because she wants someone normal because she feels like she can never measure up to him because he's the Superman. He is the hero he is the god of superheroes, if you will, in this universe. And then he goes to what happens is that he carries on as normal. Then at one point during Christmas time, Lady Liberty comes to visit him to drop off some Christmas dinner. And then he just breaks down in front of her. And then she comforts him. And then they get together. And that's basically the way it stays. So that was interesting how this book is basically a SuperWonder story before SuperWonder happened. So that was the first thing I liked about this book. Second off was when we find out that, as it turns out, remember in Volume 1 when basically Skyfox accuses Brainwave of mind whammying Skyfox's girlfriend, so she'll leave him and come to Brainwave. Yeah, he actually confesses to that, and Skyfox goes ballistic and beats him senseless, like really beats him. It takes all the members of the Union, which are basically Justice League level heroes, to restrain him. And then he gets put in prison. He later escapes because he designed the prison. What's interesting is that Utopian goes up to Brainwave and goes, "Listen, dude, I just locked up my friend. You'd better be telling the truth about the way you use your powers, because if you're not, you and I are gonna have big problems." Which is so intimidating. It's so cool. I freaking love this book. And yeah, that was one of the coolest parts because it's like, it's basically, and all the fighting stops when the Utopian shows up because it's like Superman, because who's going to fight Superman? And again, it was really awesome. So, and then as it relates to actually Skyfox, previously, he actually kidnaps the president. Let me explain. In the previous arc, we saw he left the Union because no one believed him about Brainwave mind-whamming his girlfriend. So he joined the 1960s civil rights movement because he took it to the extreme, assisted in like rioting and looting, and then he kidnapped the vice president for like a week. And it's like, but I'm like, you would think that they would tell the superheroes, okay, vice president is captive, go around, basically comb this country until you find him. But they didn't, so I'm like, all right. So they eventually just let him go. You also have basically the Lex Luthor of this universe named Dr. Hoover. And what he does, he and his Legion of Doom, if you will, they steal this weapon that steals the Union's powers. And then the Union, and then they trap the Union in basically the Phantom Zone. They call it the Negative Zone, and I'm surprised Marvel didn't sue for that. But anyway, they basically trapped them in the Phantom Zone, and before they close the door, Skyfox shows up along with one of the Union's children, and they free the Union members. Then Skyfox is welcomed back on the team despite having kidnapped the vice president. Which, when I was reading this, and I was like, that would not happen. That's a bit much, but okay, it's fine. I'm enjoying the story enough that I can overlook that. So that's volume 2. And I gotta say, I am very willing to read the rest of these volumes because this story is so good. I like how they interplay how they show how the superheroes would react to like the political issues of the time, because this is in the 60s when you have all the civil rights movements, and that's where you have like Skyfox getting involved in that. And I very much like how they weave the superheroes in. I like when comics do that, when pop culture does that in the show. How would these god characters react if they were around during like September 11th with the 9/11 Spider-Man issue, with this in the 60s, and also in the previous issue with like Vietnam War and such. I think that's really cool, and it shows that, and it basically maturizes. I don't know if that's a word, but it makes comics more mature, and thus legitimizes the medium a little more. So I really like that, and I shouldn't be surprised. It's written by Mark Millar, who wrote like Kick-Ass and Civil War, and a lot of really great books, including the Ultimates from the Ultimate Universe, which would be the basis for the MCU Avengers. So this dude is known as hitting home run after home run after home run. All the bad Ultimate books, that was under Jeff Lowe, but that's a stream for another time. But that's where I'm going to leave it. Hope you guys enjoyed this basically 6.5-minute discussion on Jupiter's Legacy Volume 2. If you guys want me to cover Volume 3, drop in the comments. Maybe I will. And I will at a future date. I got a lot of other content coming out this week, chiefly a collab with A Dead Guy and Max MVP Priestley that should be coming out on Thursday and Friday, respectively. And we have our movie night stream where we're talking about Matrix 2, and then we're going to be discussing, obviously, Comics League Dark, which is our new show. So anyway, stay heroic, everyone. I hope to see you there on the content. Like, comment, subscribe, and hit the little bell button. It really helps us out. It helps us get content to you, and it helps me to be able to provide the content that you guys want to see. So that's why I always tell you to drop a comment. And so, happy reading comics, everyone. Bye-bye.